Hey people, how we doing out there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG, Fusion Light Energy Technology Gain Technology Springs. I think I got that right. I think I might have butchered my own name. But anyway, it's not about that. Um, I like to talk about the Lord. And the reason why? Because He saved my life multiple times. More times than most people know. Even I can remember. But anyway, if it wasn't for the Lord, I wouldn't be sitting right here having this conversation with you right now because that'd be virtually impossible due to the fact that the trouble I got myself into when I was much younger and the situation that I was in was guaranteed me spending the rest of my life behind bars. And because I don't have to worry about that or go through that situation anymore because I went through my trials and tribulations. There we go. Because I had my path chosen before me and I had a choice whether to follow the devil or follow God. I already did the devil already. That's what got me in that situation to begin with. That's why I was sitting in that holding cell where people decided my fate, whether I was going to see the next day or I wasn't going to see the next day. So he already did enough damage already. So I figured I'd choose God because I already did everything the devil told me to do, and look where it landed me at, locked up. So when I talk about that time, what scared me the most in the system was basically not getting out on time. That maybe God will come back and I won't make it. That's what scared me the most. It wasn't the situation I was in because I was past all that. The Lord already put comfort in my heart that I didn't have to worry about whatever was going to happen. I know it's taken care of, but still scared that I wasn't baptized. My sins weren't washed away. I was still a sinner at the end of the day. Even though I accepted Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, I needed to be baptized. I needed to be. And I couldn't wait to get out of there my first Sunday to get baptized, to get the sins off my body, so that way I can start with a new body and start working closer toward Christ. But that's what scared me the most. It's the sky cracking open and Jesus coming, and that's it. I'm not ready to go. Maybe I won't be called up in the rapture. The rapture will come at any given time, and maybe I won't be called up. Maybe I'll be behind at the end of the day. I don't want to go through that. What I read in Revelations, I don't want to go through that at all, period. So, was scared to death. And my mother kept telling me, if the Lord marked the path for you to be saved, then you're going to be saved. That's all to it. But the devil getting there. He'll put all kinds of things in your head to tell you that, God's going to forget about you. God's going to leave you there. The rapture's going to come. The sky's going to crack open, and you're going to be stuck in that prison cell, and you're never going to be able to get out. I want to get out and I want to preach about the Lord. I want to get out and let people know about my life and what I went through and the system, and basically explain to them that basically there is a way for you to be saved. There's a way for you to find Christ. There's a way for you to find salvation, to get away from this nightmare world at the end of the day. There is a way out. But, you have to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. Because I told you from the door, people come up and they'll say, well, they want you to become a Christian. It's up to you. Your decision will come. But you have to remember, you're being hunted. That's the part they don't tell you about. They don't tell you at the end of the day that there's another one. His name is Satan. And Satan is hunting you every single day. And right now, he's plotting to figure out ways how to end your life on this planet. Because I told you, here, you are no good to him. You're worthless to him here. Because there's a chance of you getting saved and he'll lose you. Just like me. I'm a perfect example of that. He had me, he lost me, and now I'm with God. Now, if he had killed me out in them streets, then I'd have been it. He'd have owned me. He'd have had me. But he didn't get that opportunity. And that's how I know how it's mine. Actually, how I know how Satan functions. But on my end, yeah, I got pretty close to the craziness. So, knowing that you don't have time. You don't have it. You don't have it at all. Your time is so short, it's unbelievable. Like you can remember when you're young and now you're old. Look how fast it travels at the end of the day. It feels like it can go on forever, but it's just so fast. And in any given time, if you're blessed to be able to make it to your 50s, you're blessed to make it to your 60s, then you need to see God. Because again, some people don't even make it past 18. I got plenty of friends that have died in those neighborhoods that weren't saved, that weren't Christians. I know where they're at. I know they didn't make it. I know where they're going to be at when this world ends and it burns away. I know they're going to be in hell for eternity. I know where they're going to be at. It hurts a lot, but there's nothing I can do about it at all, period. They chose their path, and that's the path they're going to go. That's the path they're at right now. But that's what a Christian's job is to do. A Christian's job is to get out there and preach and talk about the Lord. You know, to let people know exactly that, look, you don't want to be caught up in the rapture. You don't want to be run out of time. Because remind you, you're not meant to be on this earth forever. No one is meant to be on this earth forever. Even the things that are on this earth are not even meant to be here forever. Everything breaks down, corrodes, falls apart, deteriorates. Nothing on this earth is forever. Nothing. So, with that being said, you have time. As in, you're on borrowed time, too, on top of that. Your life is not even yours. Can you bring yourself back to life? Can you live a second term, a third term, a fourth term, a fifth term? You can't do any of that. There are those that are truly blessed to get the opportunity to come back, and those who basically pick up their cross and know they were here for a purpose, and that's why they came back, and there are those who don't. So if God decides to collect what belongs to him, you're going, whether you like it or not, and there's nothing you can do. You can be the world's richest man, and you couldn't stop time. That's the interesting thing about time. You can't buy it. And when it goes, that's it. I see people who do all this plastic surgery and all this stuff to try to slow down time. But eventually, it just keeps on going. You don't stop it. Time takes its course no matter what. And since God is the creator of time to begin with, then when it's his time to collect what belongs to him, he's going to take it. However way it's going to happen, you're going back. The important thing is that if you're not saved when your time comes up, then you're going to hell. You're going to burn forever. That's where you're going to go. Now you can sit there and say, well, Mr. Barrett, I don't like a thing you're saying out of your mouth. Hey, read it in the Bible. It's right there. You have immortality? You can stay here forever? Then I'm wrong. But you don't have immortality. You die. That's what happens. Now people look at this and say, what is Easter? It's supposed to be it's a happy time. If you're saved, it's a happy time. Let's put it this way. It's a happy time if you're trying to get saved. Let's put it this way. Because then Jesus died on the cross to give you the ability to be able to stop the devil from what the devil wanted to do, is basically kill everybody on this planet, watch you burn with them. Jesus came back, became the final sacrifice. For those you're planning to go out and party on Easter and have barbecues and all that stuff, just remember what this day stands for. It stands for a sacrifice. Your ability to be able to fight Satan, your ability to be able to go to heaven. There are going to be people out there partying and dancing on Easter and carrying on acting up. And keep in mind, a man came down from heaven and hung on a cross for you. Question, can you do that? Reconnection, I'll pop back in, there we go. Be spit on, tortured, everything he went through. For a bunch of people at the end of the day that most of them are probably not even going to basically appreciate what you did for them. People get upset when you don't even open up the door. If you open the door and say thank you, they get upset over that. So imagine somebody went through all that torment and pain for you so you can be saved. So you didn't be saved from Satan's wickedness. So you can have to basically have to be tormented for the rest of your life. He gave up his life for you. But you're out there partying and drinking and carrying on. And the devil, meanwhile, is thinking at the end of the day, I'm going to try to collect you. Whether it be a car accident, whatever it may be, I don't care. I'm going to collect you. Because now you're giving Satan opportunity. Like I said, he bids for your soul. He tells you to do dumb stuff, to know he's going to get you in trouble. He knows he's going to get you in trouble with this crazy stuff. And he goes and bids for your soul. Look at him. He's not worth your time. Let me have him. I'll tell you something. When people sit there and say the Lord doesn't have mercy, if the Lord were to basically turn his back on this world, the destruction that would come across this world would be unbelievable. And Satan destroyed this world in a hot second. There'd be nothing left of it. He'll kill everything on this planet. The reason why you don't have a meteor come from outer space and slam into the earth, we've got billions that fly past the earth like almost every day. Millions and millions of meteors that fly past us. They can literally slam into the planet. The moon, if it moves out of its orbit just by a little bit, catastrophic storms will pop up on the earth that you've never even seen before. People want to chalk that up as saying that's science. That's not science, that's God. The reason why you have science is because of God. A lot of these inventions and stuff for Christians at the end of the day, they realize where all this power comes from. It comes from God. You're at war and you don't even see it. It's a spiritual war. It's a war that's been going on for centuries, since the beginning of time. the battle of Armageddon, and the devil collecting his soldiers and God collecting his. And there's no in between. There's no way out of this. There's no way. Like I'm neutral. This is no neutral at all. Period. It's everybody thinks they're going to heaven, and keep in mind, this is how blessed the calling is. When you're able to turn your life around and find God, this is how blessed that calling is. There's a certain number that's going to heaven. Everybody's going. There's a certain number that's going to hell. Not everybody will have that opportunity to go to heaven. Think about the many people that are out there carrying on drinking and doing what they want to do, party and stuff like that, and they die. People out there driving, drunk, kill themselves. People have OD'd, committed suicide, stuff like that. Those people will not see the kingdom of heaven. That's pretty sad. That's really, really sad. Not everybody's meant to go to heaven. And that's the part that hurts. People saying, well, how can you be? I'm not that hard at the end of the day because I got people in my family. I got friends of mine who died. I had 3 people die from overweight. None of them are saved. I know where they're at. I got family members who've passed away. I know where they're at. I've got uncles that even fought in World War II. I know where they're at. Yeah, people. Time is not on your side. It isn't. At any given time, you could be called back. Are you ready? That's what you got to consider the fact. People have that thought when they're dying. When they're having heart attacks and strokes and all that stuff. They're not ready to pass over. You're not ready to pass over. You get that second chance, you better take that second chance. To find God at the end of the day. So I'm going to tell you something. The devil's hunting you. He is. He's hunting you. You don't have to worry about the big and bad guys. You know, you have to do far worse than that. The devil's hunting you. And he's going to be determined to get what he wants, no matter what it takes. Like I told you before, if you're home and the devil pops up in your living room, who you call on? You can't call on him. It's funny, he calls on you to do crazy stuff. And people go out there and do crazy stuff, commit crimes and whatever. And that demon would pop up in the middle of your room and stare you dead in the face. Who you call? You can call God. You can't call him. He's already there. And you don't want to call him. He's there. You don't want him there. You want him out of there. So who are you going to call on? You already know deep down inside, there's nothing you have or can do to defend yourself against that. Can't fight it. Can't shoot it. You're not going to kill it. That's virtually impossible. So who you call on? Your instincts say to call on God. Why? Because God's the only one that can kill the devil. He's the only one that can make the devil run. He's the only one that can destroy the devil. He's the only one that the devil fears. But yet, you don't follow God. You don't follow Jesus. People only follow Jesus when they want something. It's changed. Some people are like that. Some people find the Lord and they fall in love with the Lord and they want to be with the Lord forever. Some people become fascinated by Christ and they become Christians. Some people go through turmoil and destruction in their life like no end, and they're just tired of it. They can't find any way out. And then the Lord comes to them and they're ready to go. They're ready to learn. They're ready to follow that path, pick up their cross and walk with Jesus. And there are those who ignore, like I did, and took the extremely painful long road around. I learned, but I took the long road around. But at least at the end of the day, I did get saved. I'm happy about that. I think about all the many possibilities I could have died. I mean, I had so many opportunities I could have easily been killed. Easily. Living in an ultra-violent neighborhood, making trouble in an ultra-violent neighborhood, having the attitude, I don't care, don't give a damn about other people at the end of the day, don't care whether I live or die, that type of attitude, all that was being charged by the devil. Yet he was the one telling me that I was strong. He was the one telling me that I was big and bad and no one could take me down. That I'm invincible. Yeah, well that changed, yeah, when I went through the system. That changed a lot at the end of the day. become an extremely humble person. Just imagine if God didn't listen to me. I think about that. What if God decided to say, you know what? I'm tired of this one. He defied me every chance he got. Every chance he got. I gave multiple opportunities. I've saved his life on so many levels. Did he ever say thank you to me? Never said it. Thought it was sheer luck. That's what he put it on. Go ahead. You can have it. Can you imagine that? Yeah. People sit there and say at the end of the day, well, you know, hey, the reason why we have all this evil on earth is because of God. God could stop all this. We did it to ourselves. That's the problem I hear people saying. Oh, we have nuclear war, we have disease, we have everything else, we have death, destruction, and everything else you could think of. It must be God's fault. Because he has the power to stop all this. Well, here's the problem we have here. We triggered it all. It's our fault if the world is like this. We did it. And for those who are saying, well, no. Remember, Adam and Eve. We had paradise. We had anything we wanted. There was no such thing as rich or poor, disease. It didn't exist. Murder didn't exist. Nothing. It was just basically happiness. One command: don't touch the tree. You have anything you want, just don't touch that tree over there. No, mine. Satan was trying to figure a way how to get into the Garden of Eden. I probably talked to all the other animals. They probably told him, no way in the world. No, they were not going to let you in. But the snake, and this is the reason why I tell people don't have snakes. The snakes are cursed animals. It's a cursed it's a cursed animal. It's cursed. It's the only animal that's cursed by God. Talked to the snake was like, no problem. You know, snakes used to stand straight up. It's like cobras. They just stand straight up. And they crawl on their belly because one of their curses, the curse that the snake has, that it'll crawl on his belly and eat from the primal dust all the days of his life. He was cursed. But snake got into the Garden of Eden, got in there and had a conversation with Eve, and he was tempted by this tree. Women get upset on this over here at the end of the day. They get very upset with me on this one. What happened? It did. Yeah. This is why when I sit there and say, and women get mad at me, you guys are never satisfied. I can't say I've met. No, I honestly can't say that. I honestly can't say that. I had never met a woman that never was happy with what she had. It was always something. Always something. And then when they sit there and they get mad at me, well, look, biblical history tells it right there. You had literally everything you wanted. Even immortality and crazy intelligence and way high IQs. We were made as almost like similar, like gods. Almost. And told you not to eat from the tree. Have anything you want, don't eat from the tree. The woman ate from the tree. And she ate from the tree, and her eyes woke up, and she noticed she was naked. And guess who she told to eat? Adam. Now, if Adam had sat there and said, nope, I'm not touching the tree. The Lord said, don't eat it from the tree. It would have been different. Who knows what would have happened? It would have been interesting what would have happened. The woman would have been cursed. The man would have been cursed. But he ate from the tree too. Now imagine, you're God. You made all this, right? And you're thinking at the end of the day, I gave these people everything they possibly could want, and they still defied me. That's like your kids. You give your kids everything they want, right? You work hard, multiple jobs, get them nice things at the end of the day, and then you watch when they throw stuff on the ground and don't appreciate the hard work that you put in, the long hours you put in. How does that make you feel? It makes you upset, doesn't it? You go in and you scream at them in the day, left your bike in the driveway, almost ran over you, left your iPad laying out there on the porch, somebody could have stolen. You know how many hours I had to work to get that for you? How much sacrifice that? There you go. So we had an eternal life. So they were taken out of the Garden of Eden. No one knows where the Garden of Eden is. They were taken out. And the world was cursed. The lion could no longer lay down with the lamb. That went on for a while. And then it got to the point where the world, you had Old Testament, there was sacrifice. So sacrifice, you had to get a lamb or a sheep or something. You had to basically take it from the altar and they would burn it. Someone came up white, you're forgiven. If it didn't come up white, you weren't forgiving. But man got greedy with that too. And you know what he started doing? He started committing crimes under God. Mr. Williams, I hate to bring you up in this conversation, but you have done exactly what these people have done for centuries at that particular time. Let's figure a way how to make money out of this. Let's go out and let's charge people for certain sacrificial animals that will guarantee them a 100% forgiveness from God, no matter what crimes they committed. That's horrible. You had to be out of your mind. And we're talking about Old Testament. This is around the time when God actually spoke to man. Very extremely dangerous, but they did it. And then they took God's church and they turned it into a den of thieves. They went and sold these sacrificial lambs and doves and birds and all this stuff. You know what I mean? They made money off of this. And the Pharisees made money too. There were these people that were walking around that thought they were higher and better than other men, and they could cast out miracles and cast out demons and heal people and all this. They made money off of this too. And what's just worse is when you have preachers today saying, hey, I got this prayer cloth, you buy from me, it's guaranteed to heal you from cancer. Same scenario. False prophets. Because God's watching the wickedness of man. He decides to send down Jesus, which is the ultimate sacrifice for all. There's no other sacrifice needed at all, period. Some other church, no, you don't need to do a sacrifice. Sacrifice was already done for everybody. And that was Jesus Christ, for all people to be saved. No, Jesus Christ, when he was here at 30 years old, around 30 and 30 around your 30, around that age he was, right, no gray hair, nothing at all, period, right? Now back then, gray hair was considered to be a crown to a man, a crown of wisdom. You know, more gray hair, you know, much wisdom. And they were just baffled by Jesus at the end of the day. The Pharisees were jealous of Jesus. They couldn't stand him because Jesus did actual miracles. Jesus actually healed people, cast out demons, the whole entire 9 yards. And they were furious about that because now Jesus was cutting into their prophets. And the people weren't following them anymore. They were following Jesus. Just like when Jesus took that stick and went into that church and beat the daylights out of those people, beat them out of that church. Yeah. People who steal from God. That's why, Mr. Williams, that nonsense you're doing on your YouTube channel, you need to shut that down. You need to get rid of that nonsense and shut it down. And you need to confess to God. You are not a minister. You are not a minister at all, period. And ask donations from people to make false claims that you're ushering and helping people to find Christ is a lie. You'll have to answer for that. His days are coming. You'll have to answer for that. He doesn't get it together, and Mr. Williams, God forbid something happens to him and he doesn't wake up the next year, anything that happens, his time is called. He's got to answer for all that he's done. And there is very serious sins of leading people down the wrong path. Excuse me. Very serious. So yeah, these people went out, got mad at Jesus. Let's figure a way how we can out him to make people believe that he's a liar. Because they believe he's a liar, we can out him. Then that means that we can get our credibility back. We can go back to doing what we do. We can make our money. You know what's interesting about that whole thing? These people who tried to kill Jesus to try to make him look bad at the end of the day, the reason why he was there, so they would not burn in hell forever. So they would have an opportunity to find God. So they can have a chance for forgiveness. But yet, they're trying to destroy Jesus. And then you got the devil. The devil got to get rid of him too. The devil's like, man, this guy basically hangs on this cross. I'm doomed at the end of the day. He hangs on the cross, man. These people got an opportunity of getting saved. That means I wouldn't be getting saved. If Jesus had did what the devil did, when the devil told him to jump off that cliff, and basically, oh, go ahead, jump off the cliff. You're God at the end of the day, aren't you? Hyping him up, trying to tell him, go ahead, yeah, go ahead. Jump off the cliff. I mean, Corey, you call yourself the man of God. I mean, prove it. I mean, surely your angels would come and, grab you before you fall to your death. And Jesus saw right through that nonsense. Get behind me, Satan. No, not today. Took him up on the highest mountain, told him, hey, everything before your eyes you can have if you worship me. How you going to tell? Everything is mine to begin with. Why would I worship you for something I already own? After the devil couldn't do but so much, and then where he left. He was done. That's the same demon that people follow at the end of the day. They tell them to do evil things. that tried to take away the sacrificial lamb so you could burn in hell, so he could have you. He tried everything. He worked with the Pharisees too. Try to get them to discredit Jesus, discredit his name, make him look bad in front of other people. So they can basically continue to do what they do, which didn't work. The people continue to follow Jesus. Everything they tried didn't work. Tried to throw him in prison, tried to throw him in jail, didn't work at all. So, what's the next stage? We'll have to kill him. So that's where all that went in, where they tried to go, Jesus was going to die anyway. Jesus had to die anyway because, again, he was a sacrifice for all of us to be able to go to heaven. So whether the Pharisees succeeded or not, Jesus still was going to die. Just imagine, you're going to die for a bunch of people who, most of them are going to reject you, disrespect you, make jokes about you, and you're going to die for them at the end of the day. The fact that God sent his son down to be sacrificed, and he has the ability. Keep in mind, he's not doing. People think at the end of the day God owes him. God don't owe you jack. He don't owe you nothing at all. Not a thing. Not a thing. He owes you nothing at all. Period. He can wipe this entire planet clean and bring on the people that will worship him 24/7. That's the problem with man at the end of the day. Man has gotten to the point on this earth where he really believes that he controls everything. Until you got this mind-shattering storm that comes up on top and you realize how small you are. Or you're sitting on your deathbed and all the money in the world couldn't buy you any more time. You realize that how frail your life is. Other guy said dust in the wind? Yeah, you're dust in the wind. That's what you are. We're all dust in the wind. That's it. Our lives are so frail, you wouldn't believe. You had a chance to see outside of where you're at and see how frail your life is, you'd be shocked and floored how frail your life is. You're like, wow, I'm surprised I've actually made it this far. Yeah, your life is that frail. Especially when you have a demon hunting you. So, when you're out there for Easter, and people like to get all dressed up and party and have fun. I see Christians do it too, out there partying and having fun and this, that, and the other, and all that. Yeah, you just remember what today is all about. Now, for those of you saying, "Well, Bird, you do demonstrations on Sundays," nah, I'm gonna stop that. Because, like I said, I put myself under a magnifying glass all the time. I have to. After especially the messed up stuff that I've done down through time, and the devil, I give him any opportunity, he's going to take it, and after seeing what he is and what he does and everything, yeah, I'm not trying to give him any ground for jack at the end of the day. So I'm not doing any more on Sunday. I'm done. I spend my Sundays worshiping the Lord. I spend every day worshiping the Lord. It ain't about Sunday, it's about every single day you give the Lord praise. Every single day. It ain't just about Sunday. It's every day you give God praise. Every single day you give him praise. Pray over everything. Be thankful for everything. Be thankful that he allows you to get up every single day. You could be having a bad day. At least you're alive. At least you woke up. You don't have to wake up. It's not promised that you'll wake up. Do you know that every time you lay your head down, you're not promised and guaranteed that you will wake up? I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care if you work out every day. You could be a health guru. You can never eat sugar, sweet, no alcohol, no smoke, whatever. You don't have to wake up. Your time. Every day that you're able to wake up and see another day, it's a blessing that God has given you life. Every day that you breathe, the very breath that comes from your mouth, every second that comes out of your mouth, then the day, that's a blessing, because it doesn't have to happen that way. The fact that your heart's still beating doesn't have to happen that way. There's a number of things going. A couple of cells in your brain just drop and just die. You know how much damage that would do to your body? That's what I mean. We're frail. We're super frail. Anything. And the fact is, you got through a whole full day without being killed, or anything can happen. You got some people today are not. Think about it. There are people right now on this planet that are not going to come home. There are people going to get up and go to a store and run into an active shooter. I didn't ask you for all that right now. I'm talking. I don't want to hear it. Keep it to yourself. You want to talk about your adventures today? We can talk about that tomorrow. No, we can't talk about tomorrow. We're not doing Sunday. We'll talk about another time about your adventures today. You met a dog. Taco met a dog today. He's very happy about that. We went out for a walk, and he met a dog, and him and the dog got along. They sniffed noses, and now they are friends. And me and the guy changed numbers, so now him and Taco, we can all walk together with him and another my sister's dog, which is the German Shepherd. So yeah, now we got a little family community. He's happy about that. He met a dog. You good now? Yeah, get that out of the system. He's an interesting cat. He's happy with a dog. But anyway, yeah, so you lost my train of thought there, Taco. Yeah, he had to talk about his dog at the end of the day. He really did. No, okay, yeah, you're not guaranteed to come home. You're not. You're not guaranteed the next day. You're not. I know you feel that you are, but you're not. I'm not guaranteed tomorrow. Or the day after that, or the day after that. I'm not guaranteed that. But I do know one thing about myself, that I do accept I accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I accept Him with all my heart and all my soul. I've accepted Him long before I had a YouTube channel, long before I got into this business today, long before all of this. I accepted Him. And every day, I try my best to serve Him the best way I can. Now keep in mind, for those people who sat out there and made vicious lies about me, you know you got to pay for that, right? You're not getting away with any of that. Let's just say you did something and we never find out about it. And you think you got away with it. You didn't get away with it because God knows about it. And if you haven't gotten your life together and you haven't been saved, you go to purgatory. And what's written in the book of life, you will have to answer for. Which means that sin you committed that you think that nobody knows about, you're going to answer for that when the time comes. You get away with nothing. Anything you have hidden in secret that you think that man can, you may be able to hide it from man, but you can't hide from God. There's nothing on this earth that you can hide from God. Not a thing. Give it to me. Now, wrap it up. Be good. Getting in trouble. Go, go, go. You're getting in trouble. You can't hide anything from God. Everything you do is written in the book of life. And you will have to answer for this if your sins have not been washed away. Now, attacking a Christian, that's not good. At all, period. Not good at all. Very, extremely dangerous. I know, I went down that road myself. I did it myself. I can honestly say that, yeah, I attacked a Christian. I almost died in the process of doing it. Last couple of days in that whole situation were the worst days of my life. Everybody was trying to kill me. I have never had so many people in the neighborhood trying to murder me. For things I didn't even do. Half these people I didn't even know. Went back and asked my brother-in-law for forgiveness. And it stopped. And that's one thing I preach about, and that's one thing I talk about, that I will never forget that as long as I live. Never forget that as long as I live. Yeah. Now, I don't know how the Lord works, and I don't want to know. That's His business at the end of the day. I'm just happy to be a servant. That's all I'm happy to be. I'm happy to be a servant any day. Some things happen swiftly, some things don't. Some things take time. All my actions were swiftly, very swiftly. The reason why, because the Lord had plans for me. I had to learn as much as He was teaching me as I went along. I learned a lot of my lessons up front and personal extremely fast. I learned things about not what to do and what to do. I've seen visions and dreams in my head of things that actually happened. I've seen all types of miracles, and I've seen demons. I've seen them walk up to me in broad daylight, and they knew exactly who I was. That's when I tell you at the end of the day, they know you. They know you. They definitely know you. Because I was a saved man. They were walking up to me and talking to me. The Holy Spirit guides you and protects you against things you cannot see in this world. And the only way you obtain the Holy Spirit is you have to be saved to get the Holy Spirit. That's like a veil of protection the Lord gives you at the end of the day. I've seen people that the Lord has told me to back away from. Don't touch them. And pray. Because they were demons. The demon try to reach out and grab you. So it can transfer into you. You think that's a joke of the day? No, that demon possession is actually very, very, very real. And the Exorcist, I tell people in there, was based off a true story. That was an actually happened. So these things out here walking among this earth right now are actually very real. And they watch you every single day. You don't want them in your home, because when they come into your home, they bring many with them. And they're extremely hard to get out. You have to have someone come in with absolute faith to remove them. But they do fear God, they do. You're not alone here. You're not. You're not alone. But thank God Jesus came here and saved us. Thank God Jesus came here to hang on the cross for us. The devil would have had a field day. If he would have basically jumped off that cliff and that sacrifice would have died that way, he had had a field day. You think the world is bad now? It would have been nothing compared if man's life could not be saved. If mercy was no longer here, it would have been far worse than you've ever imagined. And getting back to Adam and Eve at the end of the day, the reason why the world the way it is, because defiance. The tree. We brought that curse. We brought all this destruction to the earth. We did. It's our fault. So the fact that we didn't listen to begin with when the Lord told us not to touch the tree, and he could have sat there and go, oh, you know what? I'm tired of this, man. They don't listen for nothing. That's it. Gone. He could have just dissolved the earth. That means you wouldn't have been here. I wouldn't have been here. Nobody would have been here. At all, period. None of this would ever exist. Nothing in your world. Nothing would exist. He decided to destroy the world then. Destroy the world around Noah. Noah built the ark. They mocked Noah on the ark. All kinds of stuff. Called him crazy, lunatic, whatever. This guy up there in the middle there building an ark. He must be a nut job. Noah was a kind man. Came down there. These people mocked him and treated him like trash. He came down every single time to talk to them and warn them about this flood that was coming. The flood coming. You guys are all going to be just... There we go. Thank you, Jesus. They called him a nut job. They called him every name in the book. And then when that flood came, guess where they ran to? They ran to the boat. God shut him. Even after all that, after treating him like that, he basically was going to open the door and let these people on board. The Lord's like, no. They're unworthy. He locked that door and they all drowned. So if you look at in the Bible, people say, well, that's not possible. Again, man's point of view of thinking about doing too much, that's not possible. How come the animals didn't kill each other? Again, it's God. God is not you and you are not God at the end of the day. If God wanted to make time stand still, it can stand still. If God wanted to stop all war on the earth, he can stop all war on the earth. If God wanted to stop that basically with no death, destruction, or death on earth, it wouldn't exist. It's God. So you think God can't sit there and stop an animal that he created, that he made from the door to keep him from killing somebody else? You heard about Daniel, right? Daniel was thrown in the pit of lions. Any lions kill him? No, they couldn't kill him. God shut their mouths so they couldn't kill him. Matter of fact, he propped one up and used it as a pillow, went to sleep. They didn't try to claw him. They didn't try to tear him apart. Nothing. They couldn't. God controlled all that. And they're sitting there watching this man walk around like, oh my goodness, like they're not tearing at him, nothing. God controls all that. This is God's world at the end of the day. So, if God wanted to destroy us all, we all be gone by now. The only reason why it will never be nuclear war, there'll never be a meteor crashing into the earth and destroy the world. There'll never be the moon offset and basically cause catastrophic storms. There'll be no plagues or diseases that will destroy the entire world, and it'll never happen. You know why? Because of Revelations. You read Revelations, you'll find out how the world's going to be destroyed. It's right there. God written to law. God does not lie. He does not take back anything. What he says is going to happen is going to happen. 100%. That's his word. And what he says is going to happen in Revelations is going to happen in Revelations. That's why this world can't be destroyed. It doesn't belong to us. You can't destroy something that's not yours. This world belongs to God. You can have all the Trumps you want, all the eons you want. You got anybody you want, any dictator, rule, king, whatever. It's not going to happen. They don't have power. God has power. At the end of the day, they all have the hourglass over top their head. No one's going to be on this earth forever. There have been tons of kings and queens and emperors and dictators that have passed off this earth. What did they have to show for once they passed off this earth? Nothing. They feel that, hey, I want to be jotted down in the world of history. What? This world's going to burn away, and all that's going to burn away with it. All their sins will be cast into the book of life. They'll have to answer for everything that they did when the time comes. They'll be called before judgment. Until then, because they weren't saved, they're in purgatory. They're in hell. Well, not like hell. Let's say purgatory is more like an area of torment before you reach hell. So they're not in a peaceful place. Far from it. So, yeah. I think for every person who thought the dictator and every king and queen and whoever they thought they were at the end of the day, who thought they were going to come in and rule the world, how well did that work out? Napoleon, Caesar, Attila the Hun, any of those guys, where are they at right now? They're gone. Even their armies are gone. Maybe descendants from their race or generation, yeah, that's basically about it, but nothing for what they had before. So no, this world is already set on how it's going to be destroyed. So, you got to get your act together with Christ. Got to get your act together with Jesus. You're going to find out the hard way. Nobody wants to find out that way. You're not promised to be on this earth forever. It's like when you watch The Sims, and The Sims have this kind of like green, diamond over top their head. Everybody has a time. They have a little hourglass over top their head, and it tells how much time you have here. That's what God sees. That's what they all see. We can't see it. But they can see it. They know how much time we have left on this planet. Some people may have 2 days. Some people may have 3 days. So there are firstborns that pass away. Everybody has a certain amount of time here on this planet. Now, the race you have at the end of the day is what time you have here left on this planet, or what time will begin that you have here on this planet, and you have to figure on getting saved. Some people never hear the word, and they pass off this earth. Some people do hear the word, and they ignore it, and they pass off this earth. And some people hear the word, and they take it, and they follow it, they seek it, they pick up their cross, and they'll be saved. And everybody's meant to go to heaven. Now, why would I be telling you all this stuff? Because I don't want to see anybody go to hell. I don't. It's a very horrible place. A very, very horrible place. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemies. Careful when you tell people to go to hell. You're being nasty and mean, or you have no idea what that means at the end of the day. It means something very horrible. Hell is a very, very horrible place. When you tell somebody that, you're telling them to go to that place. Not a place to joke around. So I tell people this stuff because at the end, you think the people treated me dirty and nasty all through time? Even the people now treated me dirty and nasty? You think at the end of the day, I'm sitting there thinking, oh yeah, they're definitely self-destructive, definitely going to hell. I can't wait for them to burn in the lake of fire forever. They're going to be down there with Satan and all his minions, man. They're going to be tormented forever. No, I don't get no rejoice in that. It's sad at the end of the day when you do what you do at the end of the day. Because I see you doing the devil's work and I know what his plans are for you. I'm warning you. You can take this any way you want. Hopefully you take it the right way. I'm warning you. You guys are of age. You're in the age timeline where things could go wrong. You're in the short-lived stages of your life. Some men die at 50. Some men die at 60. Some are lucky to make it to 70. If you haven't made your peace with God, you better start making your peace quick. That's why I can understand when people get older, they do more dumb stuff. I'm like, why would you do that? You shouldn't even do it when you're younger. But you're closer to the grave that you're older. You're closer to a heart attack, stroke, anything could pop up. You don't even know how much time you have. So imagine you can go outside yourself and go, gee whiz, I got 5 days. I got 2 months. I got 3 years left. And then my body shuts down. Doesn't make a difference. Like I said, you can work out, eat right, be healthy. Your time is time. Time doesn't stop because you exercise every day, because you eat right every day. It's your time. It's your time. That's it. Yes, you're supposed to take care of your body and keep yourself healthy and all that. Yes, but still, can't stop time. Got a certain amount of time here. That's what you have. And the devil's job is to distract you as much as he possibly can. Keep you off the straight and narrow path, keep you on the wide and crooked path, keep you confused. Put as much clutter as you possibly can. It's like trying to find a needle on a desk, just cluttered with paper, and pencils and bottles and whatever you have on there. My desk is pretty cluttered sometimes. And trying to figure out how to find this needle, which is your salvation. All that clutter, I mean, that's what he does. It just brings all kinds of clutter and stuff. Keep you occupied, keep you busy, keep you angry, keep you upset, make you do crazy stuff. There's all kinds of chaos he wants to try at the end of the day. Keep you cluttered as much as possible so you can't see that pen of salvation right there in that table, so you can't see it. You know what the Lord does? When the Lord's seeking you out, the Lord will take his hand and wipe all that off the table. Everything's gone. The only thing left is that pen right there. You can see it crystal clear. Now, it's your job whether or not you want to pick up that pen and take it, or you want to ignore it and just let that table clutter up so you can't see it anymore. And the devil's just going to keep stacking more clutter, more clutter, more clutter, more clutter. And the next you know, he's going to bury you in that clutter. Yeah. Long story short, God's trying to save you, devil's trying to kill you, and you're running out of time. That's what it comes down to. It's that simple. God's trying to save you, the devil's trying to kill you, and you're running out of time. All right, people, enjoy your Easter. Hope you remember what Easter is about. Yeah. Gotta go. God bless.